This is one of the hardest days. I don't really recall too many tougher days than today. Sitting here trying to edit this video and looking through different videos we have throughout the week and seeing how we're gonna direct and edit the video, and come across this video of my daughter doing something that she think is twerking. I was so mad. I'm like, who in the world taught my daughter about twerking? How does she know anything about twerking? We don't twerk nothing in our house. Like, the fact that she knows what the word is, she not quite doing it well, thank God. But I don't think she know what she doing, but she almost there. And I'm trying to figure out how, who, where, what, when. We screen all her YouTube time. You know, she doesn't watch much TV. How does she know what twerking is? It's hard. It's hard as a parent. It's hard as a parent. It's hard out here. But we're gonna have a talk. I'm laughing now, but I was not laughing about 15 minutes ago. It really took me about 15 minutes to get myself together to make this video. Don't like it. I don't like it at all.
This is turkey.
No, it's turkey.
They didn't make it sound like a turkey. Gobble, 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 gobble.
Who said you can twerk?
Gobble,
Let me see
gobble.
twerking.
They'll make me do it.
Do it.
I'm not going to do it in front of them. I'm going to die on you.
Okay.
Alright, so it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm on my way to the airport in New Orleans to get on a plane for a training for my job in Ohio. I'm running late, of course. A little tired, but I'm looking forward to having the day to really just kind of meditate. I am kind of a little bummed out that I'm gonna be missing Kanisha's birthday, man. I don't like that at all. I'm gonna be flying all day. My first flight leaves New Orleans at 6:30, and I don't get to Columbus until like 8 o'clock Eastern time, 8:30 Eastern time. You know, really just try my best to enjoy the time of solitude where I can really just dig in and get some work done and just hear the Lord, seek the Lord, recalibrate. I'm definitely in need of a recalibration. Some of my core values that I have adhered to since about 2019, but definitely since I've had this job, I've kind of fell off on those, and it's snowballed into where it's noticeable in my life. Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. That's an integrity thing, because while I'm at work, if I'm not focusing on work and I'm trying to do a million other things, then I am stealing time from my job, and that's what I've been doing. And I have been doing a lot of that lately, and I hope nobody from my job hears this, but I got to do better. That's below the standards that I have set for myself and that God has set for me. And I know that in order to get good success can't come from stealing. And where my family is going right now, I can't afford to be doing any kind of stealing. I have to move in integrity. I have to. That's what's brought my family this far, and that's what will bring us into the next season. I can't forget the basics. As we grow and we learn, I can't forget that we can't deviate from the basics, which is complete integrity in everything that you do. So I'm looking forward to a reset.
Water, oil, water, cup, we need olive oil, and 3 eggs. I use my eyes.
Be careful, jeez.
We're about to
There.
pour in our mix. Oh.
Put your eggs in your bowl.
Looks good. So pretty.
In the blue bowl.
Three. Ariel, know the forest. Hurry up! You don't tell me what to do anyway.
Duty, get your mix.
In here?
No. Get the brownie mix. There you go.
In there?
Mm-hmm.
The brownie is in there?
Yes, sir.
3, 2, 1. Flop, 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 flop. Well, it's good I have done.
Don't waste it, Duty.
Wait, look what you're doing. Why is special? So, that one's not dirty, actually. 3. Ew. This is all of it, spoons.
What you need, Duty?
3 soup spoons.
3 soup spoons of what?
Like this.
What is that?
Oh,
Duty, you need 3 soup spoons of water, oil, or eggs. What do you need?
for these.
What do we got to put in your soup spoon? 3, you need water?
Help me, please. Yeah.
Okay, so what do you need?
Help me, please. Mommy. I don't know. We need help. I
Ariel.
can make brownies anyway.
What do you need, Ariel?
I need 1 cup of water.
Okay, and Duty needs 3.
3 tablespoons of water. Can I pour in here? Can I pour in here?
Hold on.
Hold on. Oh, pour. Can I take my one? Pour your heart out. Pour your heart out. Mom.
Duty, do yours.
My brownie. Well, that's 31. I put a 3 first and then a 1. I had to make a 31. A 3 first, then a 1.
Yeah.
Mom. Smack the 1. Smack the 3. Okay. My brownies are almost done. Your brownies are a disaster. No, they're not. You have to eat it.
Almost.
Mine is like cake. Mine is like a real cake. Mine is gonna be crunchy and delicious. Mine is gonna be not. Hey, stop touching me. What do you want, Abby?
All right, so I'm in my hotel. Obviously, I made it here to Columbus, Ohio. It's a crazy day of travel. So, well, first of all, I was supposed to fly to New Orleans today at 6:26 a.m. Okay, and I was supposed to go to Las Vegas, and then I was gonna have a 3-hour layover in Las Vegas, and then travel from Vegas all the way up over to Ohio. Why it was like that, I don't know. That's just the way it was set up. It was probably the cheapest way to go, so they set it up that way. So, what ended up happening was, number one, missed my flight to Vegas. So it was just like a series of unfortunate events that happened to where, so I left my house. I wanted to leave my house at 3 o'clock to get to New Orleans about 4. Ended up leaving about 3:30. Left, then I had to come back because I forgot something, of course, and then didn't really get on the road till about 3:30, 3:40. Right, so I'm, still enough time. Takes me about an hour to get to where I was going to park my car. So I got to the place I was going to park my car, and my plan was to get an Uber from there to the airport. Well, called the Uber. I had 3 Uber drivers cancel on me because for some reason the GPS kept taking them past where I was supposed to be getting picked up, and they couldn't find their way back. So ended up having 3 canceled drivers. So what was supposed to be a maybe 10-minute ordeal between me calling the Uber and getting to the airport ended up taking 30 minutes because I finally had to call
one of the Uber drivers, and he allowed me to direct him into where I was, and we went back. So Uber driver picks me up. Long story short, we run into traffic. So at this point, 30 minutes goes by, and I'm already like, okay, flight leaves at 6:26. It boards at 5:55. I got to the place where I was parking my car at about 4:40, 4:45. All right, so 30 minutes goes by. Now it's into the fives. So I'm already pushing it. I'm pushing it, right? So we hit traffic, and it's not a lot of traffic, but it's enough traffic to when every minute is starting to count. It's enough to throw you off, right? So I get to the airport about 5:20. It's packed. I mean, I've never seen, we've flown out of New Orleans numerous times, countless times, have never seen the airport this packed. I mean, you can't even really get into the departure lanes because they're so packed. So I hop out. I'm like, okay, cool. I only have a carry-on bag, so I should be all right. I don't have to check in and get my ticket. Then I realized I forgot to check in for the flight. I never forget that. Well, my wife always usually reminds me, and I'll save the tickets to my wallet. So I didn't have the ticket saved to my wallet, so I was trying to hurry up and check in on my phone. Can't check in because the flight's too close. So I had to stand in the line to use the kiosk to get checked in. That took another 10, 15 minutes at least. And so I'm like, okay, I got through that. I'm looking at my clock. It's getting close. It's getting close, all right? So, but I'm not tripping, though, because I'm like, I'll still be able to make it. I've flown out of New Orleans probably 10 times. I don't know, maybe, I don't know if that many, but quite a few times. And maybe the most I've stood in security is 10 minutes. We usually get right through security. It's never a line. Man, I get on an escalator, and before I can get off the escalator, I see the line for security backed up all the way to the escalator. And I'm talking, it's curved, and I mean, it's a whole sea of people sitting right there in the security line. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm finna miss this flight. I'm looking at the time, it's 5:45. I'm finna miss this flight. You know what I'm saying? They start boarding at 5:55. So I had another coworker that was on that plane. He had got to the airport by about 4 o'clock, and he got through security, no problem. I called him. I said, man, are they boarding yet? And he was like, no, they're not boarding yet. I was like, okay, I'm in security right now. It's a crazy line, but hopefully it looks like it's moving pretty quick. Hopefully I can get through it and get there before they close boarding. So let them know to hold it up for me. And so I'm standing there in security, and it was moving okay, but it wasn't moving fast enough because the time is just clicking down. Time is clicking. And 5:50, 5:55, 6 o'clock, 6:10, 6:15. And, you know, I'm constantly calling my man. He's like, okay, they holding it. You know what I mean? They haven't closed it yet, but, you know, it's getting close. So, man, we finally get towards the front, and then there's another girl who has skipped all the way from the back all the way up to me, who was on the same flight as me, and she is in a panic. Like, she is about to lose her mind. And she's like, hey, can I skip you? My flight leaves at 6:25, and I'm blah, 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 blah. I'm like, are you probably on the same flight that I'm in? And she's like, are you going to Vegas? I'm like, yeah. She's like, how are you so calm right now? Like, how are you so calm and you're about to miss your flight? But I was able to minister to her in that quick moment. You know what I'm saying? Just my life, your life ministers to people more than your words. So she was absolutely flabbergasted that it's 6:15 and our plane started boarding at 5:55, and I'm in line, and I'm far back enough to where I know I'm probably not going to make my flight, and I'm not panicking right now. So like my calmness starts to wear off on her, and she starts to be like she really, her focus came off of the fact that she's about to miss her flight, and she was more focused on how in the world is this dude so calm? Like, what is it that you're doing? Like, are you know what I mean? Are you high or something? Like, what is it that you're doing that has you so calm and so joyful right now? And so, man, I just began to, you know, I didn't say Jesus and I started dancing or nothing like that, but, you know, I told her how calm is a state of being. It's not something that you do. It's something that you are. You know what I mean? And Jesus has given me a peace and a calmness. so that things like this don't rattle me as easy. I mean, I'm not saying I don't get rattled, but like things like this don't rattle because I've been through enough. I've seen enough to where I know that he's either keeping me from something or he's showing me something. And I'm looking for the lesson or the blessing, because it's one of the two. And then you'll see later on in the story that it's actually both. You know what I'm saying? It was actually both. And so I'm calm because I've seen enough. I've been through enough to where I know, hey, if I miss this one, hey, thank you, Lord, because you're doing something. You're doing something. So, anyways, we get to the front of the line, and when I got to the front of the line, I called my homeboy. I was like, did they close it yet? He said no. I said, perfect, because I'm going to make it. I'm at the front of the line. I'm about to start going through security. The gate is like at the first gate. So I know I'm going to make it. So boom, I put all my stuff up there. I'm already ready. I've been, I fly a lot. I have flown a lot. So I'm already ready. I got everything I need, everything out my pockets. My shoes was untied and loose, so I could just take those right off. I'm not wearing anything heavy. Everything is in my bag. And so everything is in my bag. So boom, I got up there, boom, threw everything in the box, slid the bag through, no problem in the bag. I walked through the security monitor and, came outside, things started going off beeping. I'm like, oh my goodness. And I turn around and he had a part of my jacket that they had to check. I don't even know what it was, just like a thick part of my jacket that they had to check. And I'm like, come on, man, you see this jacket is thick, blah, blah, blah. He's like, I still got to check you. So he checks me for like 5 minutes. And then I guess there was something on my hand, probably lotion or shea butter that I put on my hands that morning. And he had to like go through and check something was going off on my hands. He had to check that. So that's 5 minutes. And then, okay, so finally I get through and I still got hope. So I bust through there. And when I finally got out of the security, I got my bags, got my shoes on, I took off running. I mean, I'm sprinting. Like, I'm sprinting. I probably look crazy. Got to the joint, and I see my plane rolling off. And so I got up there. I talked to the lady. I said, hey, I'm supposed to be on a plane to Vegas. She's like, oh, you just missed it by like 2 minutes. I'm like, 2 minutes. All of the things that could have went right, that could have got me there 2 minutes early. You know what I'm saying? The Uber thing, and me having to go back home because I forgot something. You know what I'm saying? The 2 minutes to 5 minutes where that dude was searching me. You know what I'm saying? All of the different things that could have went differently. And it didn't happen. So I'm like, okay. Long story short, hey, what can I do? She puts me on a standby flight to Orlando that would have got me to where I was going 4 hours earlier, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. So sit around and wait for that flight. Long story short, got to the beginning of the line. They had 4 seats available, and it was only 3 of us on standby. So I'm like, cool, I'm in there. Got up there. The other 2 people got their tickets. I went up there. Hey, Evan King, you're not on my standby list. She didn't transfer your name over. So I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay. All right. So didn't get flustered. Went back to the first lady, and she was apologizing. So sorry. We're gonna get you on this flight here to Houston, and I can almost guarantee you a spot, even though it's full. I can almost guarantee you a spot on this plane because you'll be number 1. And either somebody's not gonna show up, and if that doesn't happen, we'll ask somebody to sell their ticket because we got another flight going to a different airport in Houston around the same time, or just like maybe an hour later, and they can sell their ticket to us and get on that flight. And so, we'll get you on that plane. So she gets me on that plane. She squeaks me on that plane. Thank God for her. She gets me on that plane, and when I got to Houston, the flight in Houston, from Houston to Columbus, had like 50 open spots. So they just printed me a ticket on the spot. Even the flight was 3 hours away. At about an hour and a half, they printed me out a ticket. They didn't even wait. They like, this plane isn't going to be full. It never is. Here's your ticket. So I ended up getting here. I got here at 6:30. So the guy on the original flight this is how God works, man. The guy on the original flight that I was supposed to take to go to Vegas and then to Columbus, he ended up having a 2-hour delay because his plane, something was wrong with his plane. And he actually caught the issue on the plane. There was a rivet or something on an engine that was like about to rattle off of there. And he caught it and told one of the stewardesses or the flight attendants. She went and got the pilot, and the pilot told everybody to get off the plane. So, thank God for him. That ended up being a 2-hour delay for him in Vegas. So originally we were both supposed to get there at 8:45. I ended up getting to the airport in Columbus at 6:30. He ended up getting there at 10:30. So I got to the airport 4 hours before he did, after missing pretty much 2 flights and, going through everything that I went through. So there was a lesson and a blessing. The lesson is, be better prepared. I could have been better prepared. I could have gotten there earlier. I could have gotten my stuff together earlier. I could have been better prepared. And I know that lesson. That's not even a lesson. That's something I knew and that I should have did better at. And then the blessing was, I'm keeping you from something. Sometimes he keeps you from danger seen and unseen. Keeping you from something. You know what I mean? Your total flight time, my total on flight time was maybe about 3 hours or some change. My buddy, he had an 18-hour travel day, and 9 of those probably or more were spent on the plane, because he had to go all the way from New Orleans to Vegas, and then all the way from Vegas to Columbus. I hopped over to Houston, which is just an hour plane ride away, and then from Houston right up to Columbus, which is like 2.5, almost 3 hours. So, but yeah, man, but I made it, and yeah, so I'm about to see what this class is about.
And then you gotta say you attention, Texas Roadhouse! What? We have 4 legendary guests in the house today. Who's that? This is my friend Kanisha, and she's turning 32. So I'm gonna ask you to stop what you're doing, swallow what you're chewing, and give me a loud, proud Texas Roadhouse for you all 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah!
Happy birthday.
All right, so I'm in Columbus. I was on my way to go get something to eat. I was outside of the Waffle House, about to go in and get something to eat. I had to turn around and stop to make this video. When I first started trucking, my home terminal was around Dayton, Ohio. And so I was over here a lot, and I'm just reminded of God's goodness, man, how he's taken me on this journey. At that time, I was 21, just dropped out of college, and didn't really know where I was going, but I did hear the Lord pulling me towards truck driving. Oh, it's getting dark. Walk this way. I was an A student in college. A lot of people were confused as to why I dropped out, and there are multiple reasons why, but we won't get into that now. But just to see where God has brought me from that time as a 21-year-old struggling to figure out his lane in life, what's next, and just really also enjoying traveling and seeing different things and just being poured into while I'm on the road by God. I got saved at 21 while I was driving. I'm back 10 years later as a married man with 2 children, married to the woman I wasn't sure would stay with me. My God, today. I wasn't sure would stay with me because I decided to drive trucks. And she was still in school, and she was doing well, and she was the president of the Black Student Union at a major school, and she was making moves, and here I am, a truck driver. Wasn't sure she would stay with me. And now this job, God has used this job to grow me, to teach me, to allow me to provide for my family. We just bought a house, and I've been a truck driver this whole time, man, saving maybe a year and a half where I was running a coffee shop. But God is good, man. I'm just smelling the air, just taking it in. This really is a reminder trip. I'm here really to train for a promotion, on my job, and to see where God has brought us is just amazing, man. I'm just all in my, I don't want to say feelings right now, but I'm just thanking God. It's cold out here, but I'm not even cold. I just feel good, man. I want to give God the glory he deserves, man. I want to give God the glory he deserves. And I know I need to do that by making sure I take care and steward this gift that he's given me, which is trucking. And I know he's just preparing me for the next thing. But what I'm in right now, if you don't practice well, you don't play well. So game time is coming up, and right now I'm just practicing. But he keeps showing me that as you do well in practice, you know, how you practice is going to be how you play. And so as I continue to strive, and I'm not always perfect, but as I strive to work with integrity, he is elevating me. And, you know, last week I was really kind of down in the dumps because the enemy really put this shame thing on me, man, heavy. But this right here, getting this promotion really just is a testament to God's mercy, because even when we sometimes miss it, my heart is to make it, but I sometimes miss it. It's not an excuse, but sometimes I do, but his mercy covers, and his grace, because sometimes it's also sometimes good to know that you didn't do this all on your own. You know, it wasn't just your faithfulness, but it's his faithfulness that gets us to where we need to be. So I'm gonna go grab something to eat because I gotta get started here in about 20 minutes, and I got about 15 to order my food and eat. Actually, no, what time is it? I got about an hour, so, but all right. Peace.
Ooh, look how I'm decorating.
Yeah, doing great.
Thank you. Almost as good as gingerbread cookies. Oh. I forgot to stay outside. Where can I put it? Where can I put my...
Put it on the doorknob.
Okay, okay. Oh, good idea. I'll put something on my doorknob. I'll make it more special. I'm gonna add. Well, what star should I use for the top?
I don't know.
All right. Your boy is back in New Orleans. Make my way back to golf court. I wish I had more interesting footage from the trip, but the trip was pretty much all meetings all day. I didn't really get to do any sightseeing, things I usually like to do when I go somewhere, even if it's for work. I wanted to go see the Ohio State Stadium, didn't get a chance to do that. But it's cool. It's cool because what I did get is what I came for. And a little bit more than what I came for. I don't like how this is, I don't like how this camera is looking at me. So, I got a little bit more than what I came for. I really didn't even really fully understand what I was there for, to be honest with you. I knew that it was some type of promotion. Wasn't all the way sure on exactly what it was, but what I ended up getting from it is a refreshing, just a reset, and that's what I didn't even know that I've been needing. Sing, baby. Yeah. What's the matter, boy?
For a moment in time, and it seemed everlasting that you would always be mine. Now you wanna be free, so I let it all come on.
Hey, hold on.
But I know in my heart, babe, our love will never die. No, you will always be a part of me. I'm part of you indefinitely. Oh, don't you know you can't escape me? Ooh, darling, 'cause you'll always be my baby.